What's good, everybody, and welcome back to another My Hero Ultra Rumble video. And this video is a little different. So I've seen everybody making these lists, the first day that the game was out, the first week, the first hour that the game was out, and I ain't paid no mind, all right? So a little bit of time went by, so I decided to make my own tier list. And before I go on with this tier list, I'm not going to follow this traditional S, A, B, and all that, no, because I feel like every character in this game is valuable. Depending on the right circumstances, the right player playing, the right team, and everything like that. So I'm gonna be changing the list right now, and it's gonna be this: B, B plus, A, A plus, and call the police a criminal is at large. The most dangerous category right here. All right, so starting off at B tier, bottom of the barrel, my guy Compress. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. His range attacks, while they do good damage when you upgrade them, they're iffy just because of the way that they bounce off of things. And don't even get me started on his teleport. It barely works because the startup is so slow. You can easily get hit up out of it, and then when you get hit one time out of it, you can still take damage until you fall on the ground. So that can lead to you getting knocked out. And then I got Kendo. She's definitely a good character. Like I said, everybody on this list is good. The thing that set her back for me is her range. Her range isn't all that good as far as her alpha ability. It drops off pretty quick, meaning that you can't really hit targets from far. And then when it does land, I think it lands for about 35, 70 if 2 hits. And I think that's at max level 2. Where she really shines is her clap and, her shielding her teammates. But if you were to go like a 2-on-1 or go against a good, like higher tier person, like somebody that's in an A or A plus, it's gonna be kind of hard for her to handle herself in those situations. And honestly, that's what I would pick for B tier. Now we could go up to B plus. The lowest in B plus I would say is Cementos. While Cementos is a very annoying character, especially late game, and just how much of a nuisance it is to catch him, I don't think he's overbearing. Right movements and right aimed shots, you can catch a Cementos pretty easy, especially when he's on top of his towers, because 9 times out of 10 when they go up there, they just try to heal or something like that. And he can be overpowered pretty easily by a lot of characters on this list, but he is still very annoying to deal with. Next up in B tier, I will have Momo. No, get in. No, hold on. Momo, there we go. I don't know why she wasn't trying to get there. I will have Momo next up. And the reason I have her up above Cementos is because I feel like she has a pretty good kit, especially for fighting. Her bat move that she does is multi-hidden, so if you have multiple people in front of you, it's a good knockaway attack. While the range is also pretty good on it. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know that the range was that good on it until I kept getting hit by it. Her cannon ability is nice. A nice AoE attack, good for getting multiple teams off of you. And her shield, one of the toughest things in the game to go against, in my opinion. I can name on one hand how many things can stop it. So she's a great character at keeping people away. And then on top of that, her special action being her bag of goodies, where she summoned all of these random consumables. Definitely a clutch character, especially beginning early game. She can give you a lot of problems, but her biggest drawback is range. If you have a character with a good enough range attack, you can take her out or at least get her to run away from the fight pretty easily. Above Momo, I will have Uraka. Now this character, even though I have her B plus, right, this character gives me a lot of trouble. Her spinning attack, for some reason, when she lands it, a lot of Uraka players, they continue to do it even while you're down. And then when you get I don't know if it's the character that I'm using or the move that I'm doing, but she's doing the spinning move while I gets up. She still hits me somehow. The character is annoying, but again, the character is annoying. The main thing with her is range. The range of her attacks aren't really as good, besides when she throw the card, but even that, it isn't as accurate, and it's pretty easy to dodge. One thing that makes her pretty annoying is obviously because she's a rapid character, her movement, her being able to get in and out of dodge and then setting traps and everything like that. Now the next up in B plus tier, I will have, where is he? Dinky. Now this character is weird because this character has all of the pieces to be a top tier character. It just doesn't hit the landing for some reason. I don't know if it's because all of his attacks or that he has to do, they kind of leave him very, very vulnerable, allowing him to be able to take, massive damage, especially if you're going against up, which is 9 out of 10 times. Deku, Bakugo, Shoto, Adabi, All Might, you know, any characters with range can outdo him. The problem with that is once he get in, he can do a lot of damage, but that's if he gets in. I don't know, he has the pieces. It's just me personally, I haven't seen a Kaminari player who can put it all together to make him this unstoppable character like how we've seen with Bakugo, Deku, Shoto, or even Shigaraki. Now we're going into the A territories. So the person that I have in A is Ibara. Ibara is a character that, for one, I wasn't expecting to be in the game. And I kind of downplayed not downplayed, I kind of underestimated how good the character was until I used it for myself. And her range on her vines are very good. Not only that, 2 of her abilities have armor, and the vine attacks, they bounce off of walls. So if you're running from enemies and you have somebody behind you, you can bounce the attack off the wall and hit them, which is perfect, especially for a support character that has that much range and accessibility to things. And then on top of that, her special action being her being able to revive teammates, and it charges pretty good. It's not too fast, but it's also not slow at the same time, especially considering the pacing of this game. Her problem is her mobility. If she didn't have decent range, I'm not gonna lie, she would probably be bottom B+ tier for me. But her mobility is probably some of the worst in the game. I would say it's worse than Dabi's mobility, because at least Dabi has traps and different things he can surround himself to prevent attacks from hitting him. Her, you gotta just try to be lucky with like rolls and stuff like that. She has no lateral or vertical movement at all. So next up in A tier, I will put Toga. I feel like Toga is a great character, especially her ranged attacks being as fast as they are. The damage isn't as good on them, and I feel like the aim assist isn't as strong on them. That's one of the things that really holds her ranged attacks from being so broken. Her I don't know the name of these attacks, I apologize, but her attack where she like runs with her knives and everything like that, it's a great offensive and defensive thing. It's great for her to get out of sticky situations. It's also great for her dealing damage to multiple people as well, because it's not really, at least for me and the characters that I use, it's not as easy to stop her and to get her out of that animation. The reason why I put her in A is because I feel like she's one of those characters where you have to at least have an understanding of half the roster to really be able to utilize this character to the max. Like her being able to transform into every character as long as she gets their blood, yeah, that's cool, but you also need to know how to use these characters in order to actually take her to the heights that she can be at. But for right now, I just have her as a comfortable A, you know what I'm saying? And above Toga, I will have Dabi. Dabi's fireball is the thing that really sets him here in A. If his fireball didn't have such great tracking as it did, I'm not gonna lie, he would also be probably a mid B+ character. His mobility is awful. He has great traps though that do a lot of damage and can catch people off guard. And his ability where he's able to, you know, block ranged attacks. While sometimes on startup you can still get hit by some ranged attacks, all in all, it's good for helping you get out of sticky situations at all, because again, the character has no mobility whatsoever. Another drawback for Dabi is his special action only being the action that's available when you get down, because let's say somebody downs you and they just use ranged attacks until you die. You know, it's no point of it. It's not really no point of it. You can use it briefly for about 2 seconds to help prevent some ranged attacks, but for the most part, it's not really as good. But, you know, depending on your play style and, you know, how late the game is and everything like that, it can work, but it's just to me. And then above Dabi, I will have Ida. Ida, this character, annoying. So earlier I mentioned how Cementos is annoying, but he can be overpowered for the most part. Ida is a character that can just get in and out of any situation he wants. He can get in and out of any situation he wants. He doesn't have to touch the ground for the most part. Comes in, he disrupts you. He's just extremely annoying. But the one thing I will say with Ida, and the reason why he's not in the A+ and not in the call the police level, is that his engine, once it goes on burnout, he's a sitting duck, and it's nothing he can do about that. So there's a risk reward to him having that speed for the most part, but the character is extremely annoying. But he does take a lot of work to use. I'll give him that. But that's why I set him as at A. He has a nice risk reward to him that I can respect to a certain extent. Now the next up in A rank, a lot of people might get mad at this. I'll say Mount Lady. I'll put Mount Lady at the top of A rank, right? The reason why I put Mount Lady at the top of A rank is I honestly feel like Mount Lady is probably one of, if not the most balanced characters in this game. Like, if that makes sense. You know how let's say you're playing like a basketball game, right? And you got a character that's like 80 in dunk, right? 40 in steals, 70 in three. You know what I'm saying? 30 in ball handling. Like, Mount Lady is a character that I feel is just like 5 out of 10 in every category. Her ranged attacks, they go far, but they drop off. Like, the drop off range isn't like crazy, so she can't just snipe you from completely like far. Yes, she can turn into a giant, which is annoying late phases, but that just makes her a bigger hitbox. You know, a guaranteed hit, especially if you have a character with the AoE attack. And there's a lot of characters that's annoying late game. Dabi's, Frappies, Ida's, Shigaraki, Kirishima. It's a lot of characters that's annoying late game. But I just feel like Mount Lady is the perfect balance of character. And I'm not saying that she's not annoying, because trust me, every character in this list could be annoying. But I just feel like she's that perfect balance. You know what I'm saying? And then we get into the A+ category. And I'm not going to lie. This character, Kirishima's A+. He's easily A+. I don't know if y'all fought against him with a Compress or a Dabi or a Aizawa. This character will burn through you. There was a match that I was playing and I had about 4 kills. I thought I was doing pretty good. I was doing pretty good. I was doing great, actually. And final circle was me one-on-one versus a Kirishima. I was Dabi. You know, I was setting my traps and everything like that. He blitzed me easily, and he ended the match with 8 kills. This character is a great offensive character, especially when he's up close with you. The only reason I don't have him higher is because ranged attacks can blow him up. So if you're like a Bakugo, a Deku, or All Might, you get the high ground, you hit him with ranged attacks, you can easily do some damage to him. And the attacks that he have to use in order to get up top to do vertical movement, they're a little slow startup, so they're easy to predict. You know, if you just keep on moving areas and getting the high ground, you know, it's over, Anakin, I have the high ground. You know what I'm saying? That you could blow him up. But it's not easy, but it can be done. Now, the next person on this list, I'll put Deku. Oh, hold on. Deku. Now, Deku is a great character. We all seen he needed to be nerfed within the first week of the game. His recoil on his ranged attacks are annoying. He has a bunch of abilities that can get him in and out of sticky situation, from his Black Whip to his kick. The thing with Deku though is those abilities, especially the Black Whip or whatever it's called, it has a long cooldown. So his mobility isn't as great as some of the names on this list. All right. And then above Deku, I would put Shigaraki. I think Shigaraki is in the high end side of A+, because if you touch the ground, you have to deal with him. You know what I'm saying? One of the things that really blow him up is high ground, yes, but his ground game is so strong. On top of that, his range is something that you have to fear. He's a threat early game, late game. And unlike Kirishima, like I said, the high ground is important to get against him, but the character, his movement and everything, especially when him having his buff to where he gets 2 of his charging attacks now, he's a very dangerous character and he does a lot of damage, especially for it to be an AoE attack. Forget about it. Above Shigaraki, I will have Shoto. I don't even need to explain for the most part, but I'll just keep it short and simple. The range on his ranged attacks, I think it's some of the farthest in the game. It goes the farthest out of anything in the game, and it does a lot of damage, and it causes a fire overtime effect. And on top of that, his evasive ice attack that he has, I don't know if it's just me that noticed this, but the attack definitely has an expanded hitbox that isn't the ice. So you can be near it sometimes and you would still get frozen without even having to make direct contact with it. And in some cases, there have been times where I hit him out of the startup of it and I go near him and I get frozen because the game still registers that he's like sliding or something like that. The character is definitely annoying to go against for sure. And top of A+ rank, I don't even need to say anything. Look, don't let these Bakugo apologists tell you that he doesn't need to, or he didn't need a nerf and that he's not strong. Don't let them tell you that. He's still an A+ character. He has mobility, he has high damage, he has great recoil on his ranged attack, he has grenades that can travel hella far if you aim them. He's a great all-around character. No, he's not a great all-around character. He's an exceptional all-around character. Now, we're getting into the real dangerous territory. The call the police a criminal is at large, okay? I've been waiting to get to this category, all right? Because we got some real menaces. Bottom of call the police, All Might. I don't know how he missed the nerf radar. No, actually, I know why he missed it. Because he's late in the battle tier joint and the special pass, and a lot of people just didn't have him, right? The game has been out for a while, so a couple people have him. This character is annoying as hell. His special action charges way too quick. He spends most of the match in the air, doing punches, evading everything, and by the time he lands on the ground, his special action is recharged. His ranged attack does so much damage and is fast. The hitbox on it is crazy. It's hard to dodge. This character is a menace, you know, and he would be number one if it wasn't for this fraud right here. Now, this character right here, they nerfed her damage. I mean, not her damage. I wish. They nerfed her health, right? I think she's 250 health, one of the lowest in the game, if not the lowest. It don't matter. This character don't even need, the character doesn't touch the ground. The character doesn't touch the ground. The character turns invisible. They have a multiple 100 hits. Not only is the character annoying to go against, the character has everything in his kit. It has a high jump that can jump over most attack. They have a ranged attack that's also a fucking grappling hook like Spider-Man or Batman or something. Like, this character needs to be looked at immediately. Don't even call the police. Call the FBI if you see this character. And Aizawa, you can't really rank him right now because the game has only been out. I mean, well, not the game, sorry. He's only been out for like a couple days as of me recording this. If, you know, gun in my head, I'm forced to rank Aizawa, I would put him probably mid B+ tier. You know, I feel as of right now, his damage isn't too high. He's one of the few characters in this game that doesn't really have a ranged attack. Him being able to block off abilities is cool, but the recharge rate on it is ridiculous. Unlike most characters in the game, you can't use it even if it's not 0%, so you have to wait for it to go to 100% to use it. His ranged attack, again, doesn't really have a ranged attack. It's more so a grapple that pulls people in, or if you're jumping, it's like a lunge attack. But the problem is it can be so easily avoided. Yeah, that's just how I feel about him. But who knows? He'll probably get some some buffs later on and become probably top 10. I don't know. But that's just my little list that I wanted to do for tier list. You know, I just want to chime in on the fun. I feel like this is a pretty good list. Again, like I said, I don't think no character is useless or F tier or C tier or D tier. No, I don't feel like that. I feel like every character is great in their own capacity, but there are definitely some characters that sit above some on the throne. We don't need to say any names. And then there are some characters that need to be locked up. I'm sorry, they just need to be locked up. But that's it for this video. I appreciate everybody for coming through. Appreciate the love and the support, and I will catch y'all all in the next one. Later.